because it is being tracked.
I'd assume they'd have to stop.
Oh.
Like you you
would have to stop. Yeah,
you poisoned the water.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
like the data is like
I said, I'd be wearing Gucci all the time.
right. It's over. You've got the 3 years of research.
what I would like to do as well is if I knew that person was doing it, I'd come up and like, how many times have I worn this outfit? Like,
I would love to. Yeah,
I would
all the
love to know the
facts.
stats. Yeah,
Yeah.
Plus, their friends only know they've been doing it for a month.
yeah.
I think if they heard 3 years, it might change
It
their
might prove
impressions
about
about it.
Yeah.
And I
It'd
do
affect
think
you.
there is a complete validity to them being like, well, this is a bit strange that you've done this. I do think you probably have to come clean and just talk to them about it. So this is what I've been doing.
Yeah.
This is the only thing I've been tracking. I haven't been tracking your meals, or,
Oh, this person likes
how many
Macca's.
times you say this or anything
I've been
like that.
calorie counting for you. That's why you're getting fat. Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, that'd be helpful. It's like having a dietitian to be like, cool, you need to cut out this because, no, I don't know.
Yeah, too much
It is
cheese.
weird, though. It
Too
is
much
weird,
cheese in
though.
your diet.
And I think that's something that is not, it's not okay for someone to do on the sneaky side.
Yeah.
If you found out about it, you got to sort of stop.
Do you think if you found this out, you would maybe be like to your friend, oh, you can keep tracking it, it's fine?
No.
Or do you think you'd want it to stop?
I don't really find it that interesting, though. For me, I'm just like, this is what you wore like 3 years ago on this day. I'm like, okay, cool. It's like, every Wednesday you always, there's a 66% chance that you're going to wear this particular outfit.
I find that fascinating.
I mean, but then...
Because do you know what I'd want them to do?
Yeah.
Like, I'd want them to use the stats and write down what they think I'm going to wear and then show me on the day.
Like in an envelope, they open it up and they go, here it is.
Yes.
Or like the Oscars.
I think that would be kind of fun. And they're like,
a game out of
grey
it.
hoodie, black jeans, Adidas shoes. I nailed it. Like they got, I got 2 out of 3. I think that could be fun.
But like that's for their benefit, I guess. I would want the benefit of being like, give me like a 2-week breakdown. You know how you get your screen time report?
Yeah.
Get like my my clothes time report.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So like every 2 weeks, it's like, okay, you wore this outfit, this much percent of the time and everything like that.
I would like to know, like, do I need to get new clothes, or have I worn this outfit too much? Should I rotate
Does
them
this person
around?
see them every day as well?
Yeah.
Well, they've gone to school, so that's all I'm saying. They see them.
Sure.
True. I'm guessing American, where they have different than
So
uniform.
you wore your uniform every day. It's like, yeah, well, no shit. We're at school, dude. Good job.
It was interesting seeing one of the top comments in response to this question was somebody said they had a couple that they were friends with who would track people how often people would go to events they invited them to.
Right.
And it had got down to the point where they'd be like, well, Marcus always says no to Tuesdays, so we just won't invite him to things we do on Tuesdays.
Oh.
And like Tom is more likely to come on a Sunday, so if you want to do a dinner, let's invite Tom on a Sunday. Yeah. But I do think that's a really weird way to... The clothes thing, I think, is kind
it's
of...
knowing your availability. Like, I know, like, if Marcus has family dinners on a certain night, like, I'm not going to see him on that night.
But I do think it is a weird thing to, like, just completely not invite somebody because your data shows that Marcus usually says no on a Tuesday. What about the one time he might say yes? It's a weird way
It's weird to not invite, but I would say it's not weird to not bank on them coming.
Yeah.
Right.
You should just send the invite. If you want them there regardless. If they can't come unless you invited them.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think that's true, using data for the wrong reason.
No, for sure. I don't know. There's a limit.
There is a limit to everything, and I think this is it. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I think we should just leave it there for the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
And
maybe the wife should, from your TikTok question, should crunch the numbers on how often he spends on the toilet. And then hit him some stats at the end of the week.
I'd like to see his screen time report, to be honest. I'd love to see that.
By the way, you spent 48 hours on the toilet this week.
I've been really happy. My screen time report tells me every week, it's just like, your usage was down like 7% this week. And I'm like, all right. Like, I'm getting better. Like, but I'm like, is it that much of a problem? You know what I mean?
I am thinking of doing a purge of like maybe just deleting Twitter and Reddit. And
I would recommend Twitter. Yeah, that's a whole of a place.
Yeah.
But the other stuff is, I
don't know, Marcus. You just have
I've deleted Facebook. I've deleted that.
Yeah,
I've deleted the app off my phone.
I don't use Facebook or Instagram. I go on Twitter, Reddit.
Where Twitter gets me is that there's like always new stuff being posted.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
There's nothing better than looking at Twitter on the shitter. If you know what I'm saying. No, but like, it's like serious. It does that thing of like the TikTok thing where it's like whenever you open it,
some new stuff,
see some new tweets.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right.
Chirp, chirp.
I will. Chirp, chirp, baby.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. Let's leave it there for the podcast, guys. That's all the time we have for the show.
Hey, we went long today.
Yeah, we did all right, guys. We're on a roll. If you want to get in touch with us, you can email us at tqhpodcast@gmail.com. If you've got a question of your own, if you want to send your screen time reports in, please feel free.
if you found that movie that Tom was talking about, that daytime movie.
B movie, that's not B movie. Not
Jerry Seinfeld's B movie.
Yeah. let me know. tqhpodcast@gmail.com. But that's all the time we have for the show. Thank you, everyone out there, for listening. Thank you, for Marcus.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you to Damien.
Thanks, guys.
And as we end every episode, stay curious. Thank you again for listening. If you want to get in touch with us and ask us a question of your own, you can email us at tqhpodcast@gmail.com.
That email again, Tom.
Is tqhpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on what, Marcus?
We're on Twitter. We're also on Facebook.
At TQH Podcast. You can find us there. And we are also on, Damien.
Wherever you can get a podcast, that is where the TQH podcast is. Spotify, iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, you name it, we are on there.
And if you head over to iTunes, rate, subscribe, and leave a review, that would be fantastic. 5 stars if you think we deserve it. Thanks for listening.